Hello dear students, you're all welcome to your computer science class. Our topic is exception handling in Python. Now we are going to begin the subtopic 1.5, raising exceptions. That means how do we know that an exception is happening or an exception has occurred? What is an exception? An error. Okay, so let us quickly begin now. Each time an error is detected in a program, the Python interpreter raises or throws an exception. So you see, raises, or we call it throws an exception. In programming language, if you come across the word throws, it means to start, or it shows that there is an error. So throws an exception is nothing wrong. It simply means there is an error. Now they are handlers that are designed to execute when a specific exception is raised. Programmers can also forcefully raise exceptions in a program using the raise and assert statements. So automatically when we are compiling or interpreting the source code, if there is an error, it can be raised. And if it does not comes automatically, the programmer can also forcefully raise an exception. Okay, and this can be done through two different statements, the raise statement and the assert statement. Once an exception is raised, no further statement in the current block of code is executed. Yes, the moment we raise an exception that there is an error, after that there will be no execution of code. It stops. So, raising an exception involves interrupting the normal flow execution of program and jumping to that part of the program, okay, which is written to handle such exceptional situations. So let us see the first one, the raise statement. Now observe, can you see how it is written? It is written in lowercase. It is a keyword and the syntax for it is in lowercase. So do not write R in capital letters, that is in uppercase, or the whole of it. It works only in lowercase. Now look at the syntax also. Raise exception, then the name, and then optional argument. We will see how it looks like in an example. Now look here. The argument is generally a string that is displayed when the exception is raised. For example, when an exception is raised as shown in this figure here, the message "Oops, an exception has occurred" is displayed along with a brief description of the error. So how do we know that there is an exception? This statement, look at this. This message appears. Oops, an exception has occurred. Now let's see what is the exception. Now, this is our shell here. We have our prompt, raise exception. Okay, so if there is any problem in the code and there is an exception or there is an error, this message is to appear. Now if we trace back and check our coding, we have this file of PyShell, that is Python shell, and in line 1 in the module there is an error. So I, as the programmer, I want to show, okay, I want to stop the execution of the code and I want to tell the compiler or the interpreter that there is an argument, there is an error, there is an exception. So I have given this piece of code here, raise exception, exception with a capital E, then the name, that is oops, an exception has occurred. This is how a programmer begins, okay, and a programmer forcefully shows an exception. This is a simple statement how we can use the raise statement. We said the raise statement has a syntax, raise, exception, then name, optional argument. Okay, so raise exception and this is our argument. Oops, an exception has occurred. You can write anything here. Raise exception, there is an error. Raise exception, stop the execution. Raise exception, I think it is wrong. You can put in your own message as your choice. All the programmer has to do is show that there is an exception here. The error detected may be a built-in exception or maybe a user-defined one. Okay, so that error that the programmer comes across, it can be from either a built-in exception or a user-defined one. It can be any of them, doesn't matter. Now, consider the example given in figure 1.6 and that uses the raise statement to raise a built-in exception called index error. Now, let's look at figure 1.6. This is figure 1.6 here. Now, let's look at this code here. Let's move together and see what is the error in it. Now, in our shell interpreter, we have our prompt. We have started given a range here. Numbers 40, 50, 60, 70. Then the length is 10. So, using a conditional statement now. If length is greater than len of numbers, raise index error and then print no execution. Else, print the length. Now, do you think there is anything wrong here? What do you think? See, it gives a traceback. What we do, look at traceback written here. Our interpreter stops executing and starts reading the code upwards. Whenever we write a code, we are coming downwards. But when we trace back, it begins reading the code upwards, finding the error. Now, look at it. In this file of Python shell, line number 2, okay, there is an index error. This is the first line, this is the second line. Now, in the numbers 40, 50, 60 and 70, why is the length equals to 10? Let me give you a brief introduction. See. Since the value of variable length is greater than the length of the list numbers, an index error exception will be raised. The statement following the raise statement will not be executed. So the message no execution will not be displayed. Understand? Look at this is just what it means. The value of variable length is greater than the length of the list numbers. Can you look at this? This is the length here 10 and the list numbers we have here are 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 and the length we have here is 10. So if it is greater, it has an index error because it is above the maximum number given in the range. In the built-in exception examples we studied above, we saw that an index error comes in when we are demanding a number that is higher than the range or when we are finding the length which is above, which is more than the range that has been provided to you. That is why we have an index error here. So this is how it shows it. Look at file, then Python shell, line number 2. This is line number 2 here. Okay, raise index error. So I as the programmer, I am telling the interpreter to raise an index error because the length here is greater than the list of the numbers here. I hope that's clear enough. So the first forceful exception that a programmer can do is using the raise statement. The second one is the assert statement. The assert statement is also written in lowercase and this is the syntax here. Assert, expression and then arguments. So this time it is not exception, it is expression. Now see what happens. An assert statement in Python is used to test an expression in the program code. If the result after testing comes false, then the exception is raised. This statement is generally used in the beginning of the function or after a function call to check for valid input. On encountering an assert statement, Python evaluates the expression given immediately after the assert keyword. If this expression is false, an assertion error exception is raised, which can be handled like any other exception. Let's look at an example. You will understand it better. Now, using the assert statement. Print use of assert statement. Define negative check of a number. Assert number greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. Oops, negative number. Then we are printing number into number, negative check and the negative check. Let me show you how it is shown here. Okay, let me give it to you from here. So look here, this is the use of assert statement. Now, in this assert statement example, we are to check for a negative number. Okay, define negative check number. So if we get a negative check in the numbers, if we come across a number that is given with a minus, the message oops negative number has to be shown as the exception or as the error. Now it is shown here. Look here. We are given print number 100. Our negative check is for this number of 100 here. Now if we are multiplying 100 by 100, the answer will not be negative. But yet, if we are given this minus 350 as negative, then that negative check error must be shown. Okay, it will be asserted. The simple logic behind this is, let me tell you in simple words. The assert statement checks what we assign it. I have assigned that the assert statement should check for negative numbers. If there is any output that is given a negative number, check and it should show that it is an error. Okay, that is what I want the compiler to do or the interpreter to do. So now I have a negative check of minus 350 and I have asked the interpreter to show that it is an error. Okay, and when it is showing that it is an error, it will show written oops negative number. So look at it, the output is shown here. Use of assert statement, and then we have a number here which is in positive. Okay, it does not have a negative check, so none. But if we trace back, if the interpreter starts reading the code upwards in line number 3, it will come across minus 350. Okay, and that is a negative number. So it will present this error to us, oops negative number. So assertion error, oops negative number. Why is it showing us this error? Because I gave it a negative check. Don't be confused, students. It's very straightforward. See, the assert statement is assigned by the programmer. I want to forcefully tell the interpreter that there is an error. So I have given the condition of a negative check. So as soon as the interpreter traces back and checks the code and there is a negative number found, it gives assertion error, oops negative number. Okay, this is simply about it. I hope that is clear enough to you. So when we are raising an error, the programmer can forcefully do that using two different statements, the raise statement and the assert statement.